Atul Suri joins in with his thoughts on how the technicals have shaped up through this carnage. Atul, morning. Would you say that there has been a breakdown in the market?
Yes, there has been a reason to be worried about. Udyan, I have been very bullish in the market for the last 1.5 years. And this is the first time really that in the last 2-3 months, the way the technicals have panned out, it's an area of concern. Basically, I feel that any up move has to have higher bottoms and higher lows, which is classical stuff. And the last, I think, significant level, or the level that was of great importance to me, was around 55.50. And that's just about where we are. This is just below the 200-day DMA. And I think here there is a very good support in this 5500 to 55.50 band. And the market has stalled. But for me, the big question is that we are having a pullback, maybe yesterday and a little bit of today. Is it sustainable? Is it going to does it have legs good enough to really bring about a reversal? Is it a start of a reversal, or is it just a small pullback which will get sold into or shorted into? And if this level of 5500, 55.50 breaks, I think we are in for a very big grind, and we can head much lower to all the way to 5200 on the Nifty, and that is going to be very painful because if you look at the market, it's been in two spaces. Like the mid cap, small cap is smashed beyond recognition. The larger caps, or more importantly, the index heavyweights, have held out, and I feel that it will be their turn to get also hit if we are not able to hold this 55.50 to 5500 band. So really, I am concerned. I am concerned with the way things have kind of panned out in the last 2 to 3 months. Because remember, last year was a great time. We had a 25% plus return, and we are already down 9%, I think, for year to date or the last 3 months. And this, the way it's panning out, the way the market is losing breath, the small cap, mid cap space is totally decimated. And a few stocks, a handful of stocks, especially spaces in IT, which are holding the index. Maybe some of the FMCG are holding the index. So for me, the important part is that in the next few days is to see that whether we are able to come out of and take out 57.50. That's again about 150 to 200 points from where we are right now. Why that's important is because if you look back, that was where the last pullback was. If we get there, we will also take out the 200-day DMA, which is somewhere at the midpoint. And more importantly, why I feel it is going to be very challenging is because there is a lot of call writing that has taken place at the 56 and 5700. So, I think shorts have also come into the system. So the market will have to take these, clip out these shorts, clip out this 200-day DMA, take out the last point. So I feel that the real test area is going to be whether this market can take out 5750. Till it doesn't do that, I think, it's not going to be a very happy story or thereabouts.
What would qualify as a breakdown, Atul? Because day before yesterday, the market closed at 54.95, well below 200 DMA, well below the support levels that you're suggesting. Has it already broken down, or would you need to see more confirmation?
I would need some more confirmation, Udyan. The reason is that even if, I feel that this whole pull-up is happening, is that in the short term, I think a lot of shorts have come into the system and the market is oversold. Now, if we have a pullback, it is very important to see that is it just going to be a short covering rally and not have legs to go further. Because the important thing is that, you will have pullbacks. Any up move or down move has, a few 100 points throwbacks. So if this is a pull-up, is it just a case of short covering? Is it just those beaten down stocks that will move up 5-10%, people get sucked in and again they get smashed? Or will leadership emerge? Because in all this gloom scenario, there are two areas which I think the silver lining are and things that I would watch for. The first is the performance in IT. You see, year to date, the space that has really held out very well is IT. And with Infi results coming in the next few days, I think as a sector, IT can be the one that can sort of hold things up or give a leg to the market. The other leg, which is banking, has been broken. The other silver lining that I see in this whole space is really what is happening to commodities. I think the biggest story for India right now is really going to be the commodity space and what is going to happen to crude. There's no need to emphasize how important crude is for us. But, when I look at, I'm going to touch on commodities briefly, is why I place so much significance to the breakdown in commodities, which could be the silver lining for Indian markets, is if you look at the CRB index, which is a composite of most of the commodities, you will find that it has broken this level of 290. on the CRB index, and I see that there could be a 10% down to around 260. So what this really does is you will see a little bit of a sell-off in commodities. And Brent, if you look at the chart of Brent crude, it's at around 105 plus minus. 105 is a very important level for Brent. If 105 gets broken, which is what I get a feel will happen, I think Brent could be down to 90. If crude corrects about 10% from here, I think that could be a very, very big positive for India. You know, with diesel subsidies getting reduced, diesel prices being marginally increased, I feel that apart from IT, the next big opportunity could be in oil and gas space. And one must remember that both of them, after banking, are the biggest weightages in the Nifty. So, you know, in the whole gloom and doom scenario, if there are two things I'd look out for, one is what IT does, how the IT results are, and second, what is happening to commodities, and more so, what is happening to Brent. Because I get a strong feeling that, you know, you are going to see a very big crack in commodities. That's the kind of feel which I get even if I look at some of the commodity producing countries. You look at the kind of correction you've seen in, or the fall you've seen in a country like Brazil, whether it is Australia, whether it's Canada. These are great big commodity producers, and these markets are giving back a lot. And my thesis or my theory is that we are at the cusp of maybe having a big fall in commodities. If crude Brent falls to around 90, I think that will be a very big positive for India. In the whole gloom and doom scenario, I think that could be one surprise big positive for India.
Hi Atul, good morning. So for a positional trader on the Nifty, Atul, what would confirm to you that the trade is probably towards 5200 and not towards 5700? Would you wait over the next couple of days for another confirmation or the market to drift a bit more? What would be the catalyst for a confirmation that it's 52, not 57?
Yeah, I think that this band that we mentioned, you know, as Udayan just mentioned, that maybe, you know, we did give one-day close marginally below 5,500. I think, you know, some people use a 3-day filter or whatever. Those are, you know, filters of the mind. But I think what's important for me is that the market in the short term seems oversold, seems to have a bit of shorts. How it's going to respond in the next couple of days? Vitali, in case this market pulls up and you just see those, you know, those infra names performing or some of the PSU bank names performing and leadership doesn't come in, you know, you need leadership to take the market up. And as I said, leadership should come in IT and oil and gas space. If that doesn't come through, or if, you know, commodities don't significantly crack, I feel that sooner or later we would crack this level. But pure chart point of view, yeah, if you have a weekly close below, say 5,500, that I think in a very purest sense would be a breakdown. But I reiterate that for me the important thing is going to be commodities. And will commodities crack? Will the CRB live to what it's doing? Or will Brent really get down to 90? I think this for me is the big question.